So seeing as how my Easter egg videos have been doing really well recently, I decided to start a new series. What I'll be focusing on from now on will be Easter eggs and references of some of the best movies and TV shows, kind of a randomized grab bag of various references in multiple games. Although I still have ideas for other singular film and TV show Easter egg compilations as well. So to give you guys something for the holiday season, I thought I would try to find as many Easter eggs and references for Christmas movies as I could. What's crazy is there really isn't very many video games that feature references to classic Christmas movies. Well, at least that aren't wildly known about. I started to compile this list about 2 weeks ago, and let's just say within those 2 weeks, I kinda had to dig for a lot of these. When you think of classic Christmas movies, you probably have a few in mind that are great for annual rewatches. Here's several of mine from my own collection, plus a few others I threw in there. Some of which are within today's video, like A Christmas Story, Home Alone, Christmas Vacation, and The Grinch. So grab a glass of eggnog or whatever holiday treat you prefer, and let's get started. Oh, and spoiler warning for the following films if you haven't seen them. First up, we'll start with GTA 5. During the Christmas 2022 update, Rockstar added several different events that can take place in Los Santos, like a shootout on top of Fox Plaza, or in GTA 5 it's been renamed to the Weasel Plaza. Excuse me? Okay, well seeing as I was rudely cut off, I guess we'll start with this idiot. Rockstar loves to parody or reference a lot of pop culture media, so Christmas movies are no exception. This particular elusive troublemaker is a parody of someone who's known for stealing Christmas.
And he took every present.
Clearance sale. Everything must go.
Well, in GTA 5, he just flat out robs you of your cash and your snacks, as if he was called on by Lamar from your contacts list. But this blue-haired parody of the Grinch, Rockstar went with the copyright-friendly route and named him the Gooch. Which, well, let's just say he sure does act like a butthole when he spawns in from the nether regions of God only knows where. The Gooch will randomly spawn within online sessions after 48 minutes of at least 2 people during December's Christmas events. When he does appear, he chooses someone at random, bursts in with a cloud of colorful smoke, tracks you down like a mugger, and robs you when you're least expecting it. He even giggles exactly like Jim Carrey did in the movie.
That's a good one.
Although this guy is way more resilient to damage than the muggers are, so if you want your cash back, you may need some heavy artillery, or call in John McClane for help. Speaking of which, everyone's favorite non-Christmas Christmas movie, Die Hard, is the next reference that you'll find within GTA Online. During the Christmas event, anytime between 8 PM and 6 AM, head on over to the Weasel Plaza. You may see some enemies pop up on your map. Make sure you have a vehicle with flight capabilities or an aircraft because you will have to head up to the rooftop. Just like Die Hard, there's a big showdown on the roof of what is referred to as the Nakatomi Plaza in the film.
Nail that sucker!
But up here, you'll be greeted by some police choppers and a few rooftop goons. These 3 are also parodies of some characters from Die Hard. Henchman 1, well, I'm not actually sure who this is. Some are saying that this is supposed to be John McClane, but personally I don't think so, because it looks nothing like him other than the facial bruising. And it also makes 0 sense for him to be up here shooting at the helicopters alongside the other 2 guys. Henchman number 2 is supposed to be a parody of Carl Vresky, but when I look at him, he looks like he's more of a hybrid of both him and his brother Tony, who wore similar frame glasses and has the same hairstyle. And lastly, the guy with way too much health to seem even close to being realistic is GTA's version of Hans Gruber, sporting his WM-29 pistol based off the real Heckler & Koch P7M13 with silencer from the film. If you manage to take him out, you will unlock his gun alongside a separate skin for the regular pistol's Mark II variant based off the real-life Beretta 92, which being the same pistol John used in the film, or more specifically the 92F model. And lastly for GTA 5 is yet another Die Hard reference in the form of a funny sweater. This version has one difference from the movie. Well, other than the color, machine gun has been swapped out for minigun in this case.
Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho.
Hopefully most here agree that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, because there will be quite a lot of Die Hard references in this video. So if you're a fan of Bruce Willis and action-packed fun, then look no further. But of all the Christmas movies that I've seen, Christmas Vacation stands out as my all-time favorite. I try to watch it every Christmas, so I wanted to make sure that I could find some Easter eggs for this film specifically. And you can find a couple of them in American Truck Simulator. During the Winter Wonderland event that is held annually, which is currently active until mid-January, the event requires you to own your own truck so you can do external contracts. Once you are capable, find a Christmas job on the list that delivers to any one of these destinations: Christmas Market, Marigolds, Snowy Peaks, and Rudolph's Crafts. Once you do, you'll have to find one of these swirl icons on the map. That is your Winter Wonderland portal that'll take you to the new map that is fully Christmas themed. In here, you'll find a chocolate factory. You want to turn down this road, open up your map and put a destination marker where I've got it. Driving down this road, you'll see a lot of houses that are all lit up for Christmas, and you might even spot... Okay, never mind, it's pretty damn obvious. Clark Griswold set the house on fire again for the holidays. It's surprising that he ain't dangling from the roof. As you can see, it also looks like the Griswold family is outside admiring the lights like the movie. But that's actually not the only reference made within the game. On one of the overhead dot signs, you can find this message, which is obviously a reference to when Cousin Eddie was emptying the RV's septic tank.
Shitter was full!
Ah, yeah. You checked our shitters, honey?
Clark, please. He doesn't know any better.
You ought to know it's illegal. It's a storm sewer. If it fills with gas, I pity the person who lights a match within 10 yards of it.
You could spot this while driving west on Interstate 80 from Utah, crossing the border into Nevada. Now, I don't currently own the Utah map expansion, so I was unable to check this myself, but if anyone knows if this still spawns or not, let me know because I've heard it's quite rare to see. So rare that I couldn't even find footage of it anywhere. On the wiki, it is listed as a seasonal message that has a chance to appear. But this particular message is not only a reference to the movie, but it was actually a real safety message that would pop up during the holidays, as seen spotted in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Illinois in 2018 and 19. There was also a very small Christmas vacation Easter egg on the old Christmas 2019 map for Fortnite. Yeah, that long ago. This was actually one of those ones that required a lot of digging since this is no longer available anymore. Here you'll find a station wagon being covered by the absurdly large Griswold family Christmas tree.
There it is. The Griswold family Christmas tree.
Dad, did you bring a saw?
There's also another one from 2019, Chapter 1 Season 7 map referencing... Well, it might be a reference, but this one is so subtle that it might just be a coincidence. If you take a look here at how you have to get up to the top floor, this looks like a reference to how Marv stacked a bunch of junk to climb up from the basement in Home Alone 2. Well, seeing as how we're talking about Home Alone, there's quite a few references for those films as well. Starting with one that I think a lot of people already know about, and that's in the 2016 reboot of Hitman. If you load into the Paris map, you can find this bonus level called Holiday Hoarders, where your elusive targets are giving the Grinch a run for his money. Well, if it ain't the wet bandits themselves. Well, parodies of them anyway. I won't actually read all of this, but if you'd like to learn a bit about them, I'll leave this here for you. Harry and Marv have made it their mission to rob the gala event, so it is up to Agent 47 to take them out. Heading on in, you'll find that the map has been decorated for Christmas. A random Santa Claus will teleport all over the map in various locations. And these two numbskulls are running around pilfering random objects. Although I'm not sure how they're getting around so effortlessly. Somehow they have a security clearance level higher than a CIA operative. But nope, with Hitman's logic, they said, yep, you're free to walk around wherever the hell you want. They actually have a neat challenge to rush around to all the locations and take every item before they can. This one here that looks like a discount store version of Post Malone is Marv. And if you know how Marv acts in the movies, then you'd expect him to be accident prone. And hey, wait a minute. Is he trying to flood the place? Well, of course, this is actually a reference to Marv flooding everyone's kitchen sinks after robbing the place.
You did it again, didn't you? Why do you do that? I told you not to do it.
Harry, it's our calling card. All the great ones leave their mark. We're the wet bandits.
You're sick, you know that? You're really sick.
As I was saying, there's actually a few other challenges. One that actually pokes fun at a scene from the sequel. If you run around the map, you may spot these gift boxes that drop random items. In a few of them, you can pick up some bricks. To complete the challenge, you'll have to hurl 3 of them at Marv to knock him out.
Direct it.
Okay, kid. You want to throw bricks? Go ahead, throw another one. Harry, no.
Honestly, even though it is highly unlikely that he would have ever survived the first brick to the head, this was always one of my favorite scenes from Home Alone. so this challenge is a personal favorite. If they do manage to steal all the items, they will bring them back to the basement and have a little celebration.
Hello.
Going back to leaving the sinks running. Yep, the game Gone Home actually has an achievement called Wet Bandit to turn on all the faucets in the house. Just don't forget the bathtub. In Hitman 3, which has actually now been renamed to World of Assassination, also has a couple small references to Die Hard. On Dubai's map, right by the lobby, you'll spot this little room. Walk to the back corner and take a look at the whiteboard. You will find 2 sticky notes referencing quotes from Die Hard. The first one is a quote from Hans Gruber.
You know my name, but who are you? Just another American who saw too many movies as a child.
And the second one is John McClane's quote, just after he gets Officer Powell's attention by throwing a body out the window. Also, with the third game containing the content from the first 2 Hitman games, they brought forth the Holiday Hoarders mode and have added some neat outfits that required some new challenges. With the most recent outfit added, it looks to be somewhat of a parody of Buddy's costume from Will Ferrell's Elf. In order to unlock it, you have to take all the items from Harry and Marv and drop them in these gift boxes under the Christmas trees. And once you do, the game will immediately give you the elf costume. Also, this probably isn't a reference, but I did notice this ugly green sweater did have an extremely similar appearance to the sweater used for the alternate poster for Better Watch Out. Sniper Elite 5 also has a Die Hard quote. On the very first mission, the Atlantic Wall, within the first 15-20 minutes of the game, you'll find these vines you can climb. Head on up and you'll be greeted by a German infantry soldier that you can do an execution on. The player character Carl will reference John McClane's line.
Happy trails, Hans.
Even though the game takes place decades before the movie existed, it's still a cheeky fourth wall breaking joke that plays with history for our amusement.
Happy trails, Hans.
Cyberpunk 2077 also has a Die Hard reference. At this location of the map, you will find a couple of corpses on top of this rooftop. If you search the guy on the left, you will find a text exchange from John McBain talking with his wife Holly, who is using the same maiden name Gennaro as she did in the film, only spelt a bit differently. Within the text file, they basically just throw a bunch of random quoted references into an awkward conversation that seems like it's more of a final goodbye between them because of the reference to Hans Gruber being dead. But if you turn around and look behind you, you'll actually find Holly in the vent. She also has the exact same text file with her. So this is also a reference to the vent scene and John's popular catchphrase,
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
which was actually referenced in a cutscene for Destroy All Humans 2 as well.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Russia.
As for the vent scene, John has an iconic quote that has been referenced several times in different games. Popping up in Fallout 4, if you stop by the northeast corner of the map right next to where the Far Harbor portal is located, walk along the coastline near Macro Fish Packing, here you'll spot a message in a bottle with the exact same quote written on a scrap of paper.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.
The thing I like about this one is it's actually on a coast. The quote also appears in the game close to the sun, with a slight alteration.
Come aboard the Helios. We'll get together, have a few laughs.
Even though coast has been changed to the Helios, the reference still works great for this type of gameplay. I'm sure there's many more games that make this reference, but the only one that I could find was in Chapter 7 of Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.
What's that?
Nothing.
No, that! They must have flipped the core back. Something's powering up again.
That's it for that specific Die Hard quote, but Guardians of the Galaxy has quite a lot of pop culture references, and a few can be found right at the very start of the game. But we'll focus specifically on a particular poster for Fur Things, which is a parody poster for another classic Christmas 80s film, Gremlins.
It's pretty crazy that all that destruction started from one little mistake.
Guardians of the Galaxy isn't even the only one that parodies the Gremlins poster either. In the game Lake, which I previously mentioned for the same reason in the Back to the Future videos, we also have a parody version of the alternate Stripe poster where he's ripping through the paper. Stripe being the main villain of Gremlins, the menacing reptilian version of the Mogwai. Everyone who's seen the movie should know the rules. Keep the Mogwai away from bright light because they're sensitive, sunlight specifically can kill them. Don't get them wet because they will multiply, and don't feed them after midnight because that's when they mutate. The Old World Blues DLC for Fallout New Vegas also has a Gremlins Easter egg. After talking to Dr. Mobius, he tells you that his cybernetic companion, Gabe, is gone missing. After taking the quest to Brain's best friend, it will lead you to Higgs Village. Once you enter, you'll notice a very pre-war town layout. Head over to this house and check in the backyard. You will come up on a doghouse with the name Stripe and, oh god, it's a tiny Deathclaw. Yeah, he may be small, but he is still a jerk, just as much as the big ones are. If you kite him out to the front and walk up towards the fountain, he actually turns around and says enough is enough and actually retreats back to the doghouse. Kind of funny that he's afraid of water fountains, since this is how Stripe dies in the movie, being that he was standing on the water fountain when the sunlight shined through the building. But regardless, keeping this in mind is actually kind of beneficial to fighting him. He actually got stuck in a few spots here for me, so it made the fight much easier. I was actually a very low level walking in here because my old level 50 save already had this mission completed. Also, in order to see him, I'm pretty sure that you need to have the Wild Wasteland perk. This is something that the game never tells you when creating a character, but having the Wild Wasteland on makes you see a lot more interesting Easter eggs that you wouldn't normally come across. In Battlefield Hardline's Chinatown multiplayer map, there's actually a very neat Easter egg. The area already looks very similar to the start of the Gremlins film, where Billy's father is looking for the perfect Christmas gift to give him. He stumbles upon this little novelty shop, which has a lot of odd ancient gadgets. In Hardline, they specifically reference this little shop. If you find this little area, there's a hidden button you can press that opens a door. Head on inside and you'll find a very similar style shop to the one in the movie, although quite a lot smaller. But if you look behind the counter and listen, yep, Gizmo is inside the box singing his heart out. This is a very cool Easter egg. Battlefield games are really well known for absurdly creative and funny Easter eggs, and this one is definitely one of the better ones. While we're still on the topic of Gremlins, Borderlands 3 even has a really neat one as well. On Eden 6 and Ferocious Canopy, during one of Sir Hammerlock's legendary hunts, you will find a Gremlins reference in this location.
Beware the Jabbermogwai, Vault Hunter, and don't let it get wet.
That's right, this enemy is called the Jabbermogwai. This one comes with a neat gameplay reference as well. He says to keep it away from water like the movie, but it seems as if it's cryo damage that's more of a cause for concern. Using anything that does cryo damage will actually cause him to multiply way more than the water will, even to some insane numbers. Yes, as you can see, this is a great enemy type for legendary farming. The Jabbermogwai is the only enemy that will drop the Hellfire SMG. Using incinerary damage increases your chances of obtaining this rare drop. And in the first Borderlands game, there is actually a neat Easter egg for A Christmas Story. Around the point where you start unlocking level 27 quests, follow the main story up to the point where you get the mission Another Piece of the Puzzle. There is actually a secret area in New Haven. If you head on back behind some of the shops here, you'll find this door that is only open during this quest. Head on in and an elevator will take you down to a secret basement that is decked out for Christmas. After clearing out a few enemies, take a look at the table and you will spot a lamp made out of a leg. Well, more specifically an actual lost limb of someone who didn't need it anymore. This is of course a reference to the leg lamp that Ralphie's old man won for completing a crossword puzzle.
Would you look at that? I know just the place for it. Right in the middle of our front room window. It's indescribably beautiful. It reminds me of the 4th of July. Turn off all the lights. I want to see what it looks like from the street.
But also within the same room, if you open up the weapons chest, you will find a rifle in here named Ryder, a reference to Ralphie's Red Ryder BB gun that he desperately wanted for Christmas. There's also a caption on the gun that references the iconic quote that everyone warned him about.
Oh my God, I shot my eye out. You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
You'll shoot your eye out. Ralphie, you be careful out there. Don't shoot your eye out.
There's also a very subtle reference to Die Hard. There's a mission called Find Bruce McClane, which they basically just mashed Bruce Willis and John McClane's names together. As far as that reference, I couldn't find much else that was worth mentioning. The small quest line you get for these missions really didn't reference the movie in any big way. Bully from Rockstar Games also has a nod to A Christmas Story during the Halloween mission. Everyone is all dressed up in costume, so you'd probably expect some people to be dressed up in something that is a reference to some movie. Well, it just so happens that Petey is dressed up in a pink bunny outfit, just like the one Ralphie unfortunately received for Christmas.
Guys, I look like a jerk.
No, you look fine. Don't be a baby.
No, I look like a jerk.
Immediately, my feet began to sweat as those two fluffy little bunnies with the blue button eyes stared sappily up at me.
He looks like a deranged Easter bunny.
He does not.
He does, too. He looks like a pink nightmare. Are you happy wearing that? Do you want to take it off? Tell the kid to take it off.
Dead Rising 4 even has a few references, being that this is the only game in the series that is set during Christmas. During the story, Vic will make a funny little quip about Frank that's a reference to how the Grinch stole Christmas.
So, did your heart grow 3 sizes this Christmas, Frank?
Come on. We're good now, right?
And what happened then Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day.
There's even a small dialogue reference made by a psycho NPC you'll come across.
He's gonna pump you full of lead!
This is of course a reference to Home Alone's fake movie, Angels with Filthy Souls.
I'm gonna give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead. 1, 2, 10.
Speaking of Home Alone, you can actually find this plumbing and heating van that has a similar style of advertisement on the side of the van. Yeah, okay, it's not exact, but it does share some similarities with the residential specialist tagline. But what definitely is way more accurate to the movie version is in Daymare 1998. Right at the very start of the hospital level, you can find this O'K's plumbing and heating van parked outside. The details of this one are slightly altered, but at least this one shares the exact same style from the movie. But this game also has a few parody posters for the Die Hard films. Here's one for the first film, but this one looks like it's based off the foreign version of the poster. You can also find one for Die Hard 2 and Die Hard with a Vengeance, which with every one of these posters, it changes up the name just a little bit. The next reference can be found in a little indie game called Commander 85. You will immediately spot this parody poster for Home Alone called House Alone. And as you can see, if you follow my Back to the Future series, I actually missed this one. There's actually a little bit more to the Back to the Future references with this game, but I'll save that for another video since it's not Christmas. You can find another little nod to Home Alone within Tom Clancy's The Division. Exploring the snowy streets of New York, you will find several audio files hidden all over the map, but there is one in particular down this alley where you can find a very concerning cell phone message from a boy who's home alone.
Dad? All routes in and out of Manhattan will remain closed until quarantine is lifted.
Hey, buddy. What's wrong?
I think they're trying to break in.
Open up! Police! Don't open. Call 911.
You're not picking up. Dad, you've got to come home.
I'm trying, buddy. But the goddamn bridge.
They're breaking down the door.
Al, did you get the gun from my desk?
What?
Go get the gun!
Dad!
Now, this is very subtle in its representation of how it compares to the film, but the fact that this burglar addressed himself as a police officer to gain access to the house is quite similar to how Harry posed as Chicago police to case the McAllister house. But to me, this more reminds me of when they were trying to trick Kevin to opening the back door, where the little jerk is armed with a BB gun.
We're not gonna hurt you.
No. Got some nice presents for you.
Be a good little fella now and open the door.
And the final reference to Home Alone can be found within the game 60 Seconds. This one is just a neat little challenge within the survival mode. If you select Sheltered Alone, you will have the challenge of trying to survive the game with just Timmy. During this challenge mode, 2 accident-prone bandits will be giving Timmy a hard time. Usually every other day, these 2 bandits will try to gain access to the fallout shelter. And with your limited supplies, you will have to hold out or counteract each of their tactics to win. There's tons of references to lines and specific scenes from the movies, including references to getting scammed by kindergartners, the icy stairs, and the Angels with Filthy Souls film. But if you somehow fail before the time is reached, you will be greeted by Harry and Marv entering the shelter. We still have a couple more Die Hard references left. Call of Duty is known for releasing some crazy movie-specific characters for players to unlock. And in Black Ops Cold War, they gave players John McClane, who is basically one big walking reference machine. Playing as John, he will have some movie execution kills, and even a very similarly shot introduction that references the Blow the Roof scene.
Blow the roof.
A car's up there!
Blow the roof!
He also has an arsenal of various quotes ripped straight from the movie. And when I say ripped, I mean they literally just ripped the audio right from the actual film itself.
Should have heard your brother squeal, but I broke his fucking neck!
I get that they maybe couldn't get Bruce Willis to re-record his lines, but to me this seems a little bit off. And also kind of sad if you know how bad his health has gotten in real life in the last couple years. But regardless, it's still nice to have him as a playable character. Also, when they added the 80s Action Heroes update in 2021, they also temporarily changed the SKN broadcast tower to the Nakatomi Plaza in the Verdansk Warzone map. This building is insanely accurate to what was represented in the movie, with tons of references to scenes. For example, if you follow the bloody footprints on the floor, it'll actually lead you right to the bathroom where John removed the broken glass from his feet. In the plunder mode, players were actually able to utilize the building to gain some extra cash. There was a few ways that players could actually access the vault like the movie, and you needed a keycard. There was 3 ways to get one, and each of the cards had a unique level of difficulty and a safety deposit box tied to the keycard level. One of the ways involved disarming all the C4 on the roof, and another way was to fight waves of enemies in the underground parking level. Once you got one, you could head up to the 31st floor and insert the card to open the vault. I think this is such a neat update that they added. It's a shame that you can't do any of this anymore. It's the one thing that bugs me about these Battle Royale games that change their maps constantly and never keep any of these really well done movie or TV show referenced areas. Fortnite. You could even find some Die Hard posters all over the map as well. Well, I decided to save the best one for last, and by that I mean Saints Row 4 is jam-packed with Christmas movie references. With the game's How the Saints Saved Christmas DLC, players will have to stop an evil Santa named Claus. It is up to you as the boss to stop being such a Grinch. In the first cutscene, your player admits to not being into the whole Christmas thing, and Shaundi calls him a Grinch. Yes, even the title of the DLC is a reference to how the Grinch stole Christmas. But throughout the DLC, you will come across many references and Easter eggs to lots of Christmas movies. First notable one is A Christmas Story, which I sort of covered already in the Back to the Future video, just because of the crossover reference, being that you have to stick your tongue to the pole to extend the power from the clock tower to the movie theater.
I need you to put your tongue on the pole to help conduct the electricity.
No way I'm doing that.
Well then, I dare you.
Hell no, that is not happening.
Then you leave me no choice. I triple dog dare you.
I triple dog dare ya! This is nuts.
The other references involve the Red Ryder BB gun.
What's with the crowd?
They're here for the Crimson Cowboy Carbine Action 200 shot range model air rifle.
They also have a couple references to the shooting your eye out joke as well. Robot Shaundi will actually quote the exact line,
"Claus is still too strong and you'll shoot your eye out."
But what's even funnier is if you shoot at Claus in his sleigh, the BB will immediately ricochet back at you and blind you in one eye. And the real Santa will even make a joke about it too.
I always warn children about the dangers of such toys.
Also, the marquee displaying what's playing in the theater even has a couple references. One being for a Christmas movie, and It's a Miserable Life, which is actually a reference to It's a Wonderful Life. You will also find that the movie theater, once you actually get it working again, is playing a movie that is in a very similar style to the cartoon version of Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, where the Who's of Whoville are joined at the hand singing around the Christmas tree. In the second level of the DLC at the North Pole, you can find the Burl Ives snowman from Rankin Bass's stop-motion Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. In the center of the North Pole's village, you can see that they've actually taken a lot of inspiration from Whoville, as you can see this huge tree that they had from the Grinch-style cartoon.
Where do you think you're gonna put a tree that big? Bend over and I'll show you.
Sorry, wrong clip.
Burn, baby! Burn!
While fighting Nutcrackers and Gingerbread Man, Santa's elves will help you out. But if you take a close look at them, they are dressed extremely similar to Buddy's costume from the movie Elf. Now for the finale. Most of the references left are within the final cutscene of the DLC, which references a ton of Christmas movies in a quick but funny montage. Again, you'll see the Burl Ives snowman, but this time he's wearing the Now I Have a Machine Gun sweater from Die Hard, while he's also holding a machine gun. In this black and white scene, it is a reference to It's a Wonderful Life, where George is running home.
Hello, Bedford Falls! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, George! Merry Christmas, George!
And in this scene, it's a reference to Love Actually, where Andrew Lincoln's character Mark expresses his love for Juliet by writing everything down on cue cards, using one of the exact card phrases from the movie. After that, the boss is standing outside ringing a bell trying to get donations, when a random pole comes in from the right side to show his heart growing 3 sizes. This one is slightly more accurate to the cartoon version, where the X-ray box breaks after the heart gets too big. There are a few other ones with really no obvious reference. I mean, maybe I'm missing the reference with some of these, but they are just some various shots that could really be anything. Like this one, I think it could be referencing the ending to the Santa Claus or Christmas Vacation, but again, it could be any movie, because I remember several Christmas movies ending with a shot like this. Although this one with the group photo does remind me of the final scene of Stepmom, which ends on Christmas Day. And here's a little bonus one I threw in just for fun. I know this one isn't a Christmas movie, but I did think that this was a hilarious reference to The Empire Strikes Back. This of course being a Gingerbread Man version of Luke Skywalker from Star Wars Episode 5, which I think they were just double referencing the Wampa Cave scene, plus the similar Bumble scene from the Rudolph stop-motion film. Someone definitely had some fun implementing this into the game. And that's it, that's all I was able to find for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. I wish I could have released this a bit earlier, but these types of videos take a lot of time. If I could make these faster, I probably would release more, but they take a lot of planning, research, and filming. Plus the editing can be quite the process. And to think, this video was a very last-minute compilation. So with that being said, I know I definitely missed some Christmas movie references. If you know of any other ones that didn't make the video, drop them down in the comments and maybe I'll do another one of these. But until next time...
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. And a Happy New Year.